Hey Max, Jessica with Peterson SEO. Thank you so much for speaking with me today and requesting this free video. So today I'm going to walk you through just a few tips you guys can start doing right away to help you get those organic leads coming in each and every day. So let's start where your customers are going to start, and that's with the Google search. They're not going to be searching for your brand name when they need a service, especially an emergency. They're going to be searching the key terms related to the service and questions about it. Okay, so it's your business's responsibility to show up in the areas that your customers are searching. So on Google, there's 3 different spots that your website can own positioning in. The first spot are going to be your Google ads, your cost per click, and your local service ads. Okay, about 10% of people actually are going to click on those. The next section here, this is your Google business profile or Google Map Pack. Your goal is to be in the top 3 in this section, which for this search, it does appear you are. So you want to be in the top 3 because nearly 30% of people come straight here and don't go anywhere else. And so if you're not in this top 3 for your services and those keywords, you're leaving money on the table. You're sending it to your competition. Now, there is several factors when it comes to ranking and getting in the top 3. And one of the most important is something called citations. And that is simply listing your business name, address, phone number, and website on a lot of directories. Directories like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, and even your social platforms are considered citations. You need a lot more of those than your competition. Those are signals to Google that come from all over the internet that tell Google who you are, what you're about, and how it relates to your website so they can get you your customers. Now, this is a very fluid section. Where you show up on the map is going to depend on where the customer is searching you from. So you could, for me, you're on the bottom, but where you're at, you could be towards the top. So it's very fluid. And in order to maintain your position, stay in the top 3, you have to keep it active. Do not set it and forget it. You need to be adding new images every month, geotag. You need to be doing updates every month. And also, if you notice here, you don't have any categories selected on what you guys are about. Whereas if you notice your competition, this one has water damage, this is building restoration, air duct, fire, water. So you don't have this profile optimized. So I'm actually surprised that you are in the top 3. So you definitely need to work on that. The third and most important section in Google is your Google Organic section. These are the websites that are listed below the maps. And this is the most important because 60 to 70% of people go straight here and do not go anywhere else. So if you're not listed here, you're missing out on a ton of jobs. But how do you get in this position? That is all based on your website and its performance. So just looking at the website and the reports I viewed, I imagine this is probably a newer website. I could be wrong, but it does kind of look like a newer website. So it is secure. It does have click to calls, which is good. It does have call outs right here, which is also a good place. It definitely helps with your conversions. And I can tell that you're focused on Portland, which is good as well. You have to have everything focused around those local buyer intent keywords. And then I do see a form towards the top. So those are some of the top things that we always want to have. They need to be able to reach you as soon as they land on the page. They will not search for you. Okay, so it's looking fairly decent. The website looks decent. You have a good amount of content, but there really isn't a focus on those keywords. There's just a mention of the service with the location near it. Okay, you need actual your actual keywords, and you need that repetition at least 3 times for proper indexing. And you want to those keywords also have multiple variations, so you want to capitalize on that to draw as much traffic as you can in. And you do that through content. And content is the written content, it's your images. And so Google sends crawlers to your website to show how your website performs, or I'm sorry, to understand who it is that you're about, what it is you do, and what customers it needs to send you. And it can't do that without proper content. So you do have a decent amount of content, but it's more information in your face, and not really any keyword strategy. With the latest Google algorithms, Google doesn't want just generic information. It has to resonate with your customers. It needs to be conversational. It needs to be something that makes the customers want to interact with you. It needs to be really easy to understand and follow. Um, and so, yes, you have a good amount of content, which is good. You always need more than your competition. It just needs to be a better quality and more targeted on your keywords. And then, yes, you need a separate page for each of your major services, which it appears you have, which is good. Google requires each service to have its very own page targeted specifically just to that. And you need to target the local keywords just for those services. Again, you need 150 words for every keyword you're going to target, and a repetition of at least 3 of the exact match of that keyword to get indexed, just so you can rank. And then your service areas, you also have the service area pages, so this is a good start as well. It used to be, a couple years ago, we used to be able to create a single service area page and talk about all of our services. We can't do that anymore. Google needs a separate service area page for each service. And then, so if you were to actually look at all your service area pages, you're going to find it's the exact same page. The only thing this marketing company did is switch out location. And there's zero actual targeting on the keywords in that area. Each area might actually have different keywords, different types of keywords. So it doesn't really look like the keyword research was done when this was built. So you really need to have that keyword research dialed in and have that content built around it, and make sure the pages are unique. Okay. Doing that is going to help you significantly, and then support your website with the right type of SEO. Okay. If we look at your competitor, yes, it's a Serve Pro. Yes, it is a franchise, but yes, you can beat a franchise. Franchisees are actually at a disadvantage because the franchise does not allow them to modify much of anything. They've pretty much tied their hands, so they get these generic templated pages that are the same for everybody, that just switches out names and cities. So there's really no keyword targeting. They can't customize how they want to target or anything like that. So they have a ton of content. You do need to beat that. You need to beat their quality, but they just can't focus on the keyword strategy. So that puts you at an advantage. Now, if we look at how your website performs, you guys have a rating of a 2.3 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, and that's because Google does not trust your website at all. And that has some to do with the content on your website, but more the power that you're pushing to it. So you do need a ton of backlinks to push power, but not like this. Okay, you get credit for 1 backlink per referring domain. And if we look here, your SEO started around the 28th of January, and we are only at the 19th of June. So in 6 months, you can see how fast that grew. That is not organic at all. That flags Google and pretty much puts you in the sandbox, unable to actually move or rank your keywords. This has to be done slowly over time, and you may do more in 1 month and less in another month, and it just has to stagger. It has to look organic, and this isn't organic. They pushed the let's see, in about 1 month, they pushed 94 referring domains, which was probably thousands of links because you guys got a ton of spam going on here. Um, Most of your links are spam and they're actually hurting you. These ones right here, your SEO company didn't do. These companies are spamming everybody. I see them everywhere. But your SEO company is getting pretty much nothing but spam anywhere that they can just drop your website link. So you got stuff about purses, leather bags, um, completely irrelevant stuff, and so this is hurting you. Um, you do need backlinks. You do need a lot of backlinks, but they need to be related to your business, to your service. Do follow links, and that is the exact opposite of what they got going here. So most of those need to be disavowed because they're actually hurting you. Um, so a referring domain is any website that provides your website with a link from their site to your site. And the backlink is just that physical link. This is like powering up your favorite tool. Your tool doesn't work without power, so you plug it into a power source, like a referring domain. That power source shoots power through that cord to your website or to your device, and you can power it on and use it. So same concept for your website, but it's got to be the good power. Otherwise, it's really kind of killing your website. Because you do have some keywords indexed. You got about 80, but they're not real targeted, and you're missing out on a ton of potential, and you're not ranking. So you're only getting 2 people on average to your website. If you look at the keywords, there are 10 spots in Google. So you are getting close on one keyword, water, restoration, Portland. You're so close to getting to the bottom of the first page. Everything else is 2 or more pages, and the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2. So you definitely got to work on that. If we look at your competition, we don't care how their website performs. You're not competing against the whole website, just their location, and they only have a few zip codes. They're not doing any SEO. So all of this is carried with just the power of the website. They've been indexed for 38 keywords, but they're actually ranking. So they're getting 290 people on average to their website, because they're actually ranking for these keywords. So it just goes to show you the power of your website matters, the content and the keywords, and having the right SEO to back it up. Hopefully, I was able to answer any questions you might have. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. We'd be glad to chat. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.